I was gonna call her a bitch, but we gotta say he, him.
TV?
Go, baby.
So
Men can
slow.
be bitches. If you've never listened to rap music, they call each other bitches all the time.
Okay.
So
I just don't want her to get on my bad side for the wrong reason.
Curtis is a rap aficionado, so if you have any questions about rap or men being
About me in
bitches...
association with rap, please use my rap name, Kurt Dirt. Because I'm courteous, but I'm the
Babe, we have to
dirtiest.
record.
Oh my god, that's funny. I forget that he's funny. My boyfriend is not funny.
Well, don't say that to him.
Okay.
One of my favorite Curtises. Is he listening? If he's telling a story, and you know I'm so succinct. I don't talk a lot at all.
No, never.
So when he's telling a story and he's just saying that the sky was blue, because he's creating the environment, right? He'll go, yeah, so the sky was like, you know, the color of the ocean, like blue, like, you know, that blue sweater you used to have. It's like that, or like, I have blue eyes, so it's kind of like my eyes. It's like that. I'm like, babe, I get it. Can we move forward? Really?
He's a rambler, and sometimes I'm like, we've circled the point 3 times. Like, can we just say?
It's crazy that people like us ended up with ramblers.
I think you date the opposite. You date what you wish
We're
you could
ramblers.
be. I go on a tangent here and there.
I don't feel okay, but what makes us different from them? Our tangents.
Cunty.
Our tangents end in a cunty laugh.
Yeah,
You
we all
love to
laugh.
laugh.
We
You
love
have
to
to
laugh. So many wigs.
Thank you.
Each one has a wig head. This is so new to me. I don't do that.
What do you mean? What do you do?
I have to have you over sometime, but I have wig shelves, but in between each wig head, there's like just a random wig shoved in there.
But don't you have, like, you wear flatter wigs sometimes.
Lately, yeah.
I don't wear a lot of flat wigs because I have long face.
I have big face.
Well, you used to have round face. And
It's
now
still pretty,
more
it's kind of,
oval.
well, because I was drinking last night, so I'm pretty puffy
Good for
today.
you.
I know, I'm back
what
on
did
the
you
sauce.
do last night?
I had a costume fitting, which, first of all, it was at the Hollywood Costume Place. It was over here.
Costume fitting? What do you mean?
I'm doing a music video next week. It's not that big of a deal.
Same.
It's truly
Me
nothing.
too. Me too.
But it was like it's anyway. And so I went in there, I sent them my old measurements, so because they're bigger. Bigger. They're bigger.
Yeah,
and I got there, and everything was too small. And the guy was rude to me. He comes up to me and he was like, well, how come none of this stuff fits? You're pretty big. And I was like, I'm smaller than my measurements. It was your job to pull those. I purposely sent in my fat measurements so that this wouldn't happen. Because every time I go to a fitting, they always act shocked that I'm fat. Like they don't have my shit. They pulled size 34 pants.
Damn Americans.
34 pants.
Okay.
I'm a 44!
Thank you. I was gonna ask, and I was trying to find a good way to ask. So how fat is your waist?
So fat?
Perfect. Listen, I got up to a 31 this year.
I remember being at 31.
But
that
I'm
was the
back down
height of
to
my
30.
eating disorder.
Really?
Yeah!
Oh,
so what are you up to?
Baby!
Ooh, skinny babies!
The reason I gained more weight than I ever have in my lifetime, which I know it's all relative, but because once I started gummying, I was really into a gummy habit every night. I would eat everything in the house.
Mm-hmm.
There was moments where I would just eat crackers because that's all we had.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
You want the salty crunch,
desperation.
yeah.
Exactly. And then last night, I texted Curtis because I gummied, and I texted Curtis, and I says to Curtis, I already ate all the snacks in our house. Do you mind going by the store on your way home? And he did.
What did he get you?
He bought me an entire, you know when you go to the bakery at Ralph's, it's just like a tray of cookies?
Mm-hmm.
He bought me one of those, and I ate all but one.
Murder.
Yeah, no, it's not good. It's not good, but he's doing it to me, so...
He's trying to pork you up. He wants a little something.
I bought him twice this week. I didn't get
That's a lot for you.
I didn't get the whole thing in, because I'm very, very tight, and Curtis is...
So big. So big.
Listen, it's not just the amount of skin.
You know what I just got? Was Clone-A-Willy.
Oh my god!
We just got it. Me and Michael got him because I was like, when you're not around, I'm gonna...
Girly pop, okay.
You gotta stretch it out.
When Curtis and I first moved in together, he was moving to Arkansas for 3 months to do Shakespeare Arkansas theater. I know, it's...
Do they have an
wasn't great.
accent?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. A couple of them ended up on Broadway.
I hate that.
Broadway.
The Great White Way.
The person that lived here before us, Curtis's friend from Chicago that like lived in this building. Anyway, it's a very, very long story. But
I'm gonna move into this building.
I would love for you to. I love it here. I really, really just
It
like
was only
him a
15
lot.
minutes from my house.
He got on Broadway as soon as we moved here. Normally I'd be mad at that because I hate him so much. I don't want him to have success. But I was so thrilled that he wouldn't live here like with us. You know what I mean?
Yes, because having a friend nearby.
Anyway.
So twice this week.
Yeah, twice. But Clone-A-Willy. So he was going away for 3 months. And I was like, well, let's get a Clone-A-Willy. And then I can send you videos of me being like... Because this was like years ago.
Okay.
So I was bottoming all the time.
Okay.
So I was like taking it all, every time. We didn't use Viagra though. to create it. So the whole time, because you have to leave it in there for a while.
2 minutes is what it says.
But like fully engorged for 2 straight minutes. I was like a clown. I just got a clown card. I'm just circling him. And I'm like, hey, look at this. You want to lick my butt? And then I'd be like, hey, you want to suck my dick? You know, like I'm just going around him.
Okay, that's what I was afraid we were going to have to do.
You'll have to do it with the Viagra.
We have a couple of Viagras. And then that reminded me of the story that Lucy Stool told me, because she has the sex toy line. In order to stay hard, she took a Viagra and then she had someone just sit on her face. And she just ate his ass while she was getting it done.
Yeah, he's got a big ass. It's good.
It was Degrassi Knoll. I've
was I not
always
supposed
wanted
to say
be
that?
in there. I don't know. I mean, at this point, it's so far away.
It's true. So anyway, you get 2. In the pack, you get 2. We never made it. It's too scientific. Okay? You gotta take the
I just read
science
all
out
the
of
instructions.
sex.
It was just like hot water, stick it in.
But it's gotta be the same size for 2 straight minutes. Listen.
We got the Viagra.
That's what
Or
we
the
needed.
Blue Chew.
That's what we needed.
Are you
what
in
do you
on that?
mean?
Well, it's Viagra, but you can like order it in the mail. And you don't have
Really?
to see a doctor. Yeah, it's called Blue Chew. They used to sponsor the podcast.
What podcast?
Sloppy Seconds, the one that I host with a man named Big Dipper who I ran into last night.
You did?
Yeah, he was at the Eagle too. I was like, why are you here?
Did he have a sex party already?
No, he was passing out the flyers for Drain Your Nut 3.
I love that. The idea that he has a business around sex and that he is totally disconnected from it in a way that he doesn't view it as a problem.
It is a problem! I tell him all the time. I'm like, you have a weird issue with sex. Like, you can only have sex with older men that are shorter than you. And like last night, we were walking around the Eagle and he was like, look at that guy. He looks like a teapot with legs. And I was like, stop! You're so gross.
I love it. You know what I love
You know
too?
what? But he went on a 3-week sex break and he came back harder and horny. Break.
You know what I love though is that
I'm screaming.
when I was looking at the comments on our video on your channel, do your viewers hate Big Dipper?
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
I don't know. I think sometimes he tries to have like real deep conversations about things.
A take.
Yeah, a take, or like a philosophical discussion, or he wants to have an anthropological, trying to like dissect things, and the audience just wants to hear poo poo pee pee.
Poo poo pee pee cum cum.
Come. Oh yeah, I'm Alexis today. Hello!
Welcome to IMHO.
I'm Meatball Tea Queen, and the T stands for the skinny one does all the talking for everybody.
And I do. And I'm Darby, the skinny one. Thank you
Ooh,
so much.
I thought I was the skinny one.
Did you see? Now you
No, I saw you get in an argument.
Thank you. Not an argument. Okay,
More of
so
a statement.
we were on Sloppy Seconds this week. Thanks for having us.
No problem. Thank
That
you
was
for
super
coming.
fun. Well, I said us, but really it was just me and Meatball talking while Dipper and Alexis were quiet. I'm sorry.
I felt bad. No, I was
That's not
literally
us.
like, Dipper, jump in at any point, and then we would just cut him off.
And I want it on record. I didn't interrupt Alexis more than 3 or 4 times.
No, and when I did,
And she
I would
didn't-
constantly stop.
And say sorry.
Yeah.
But the editors must have cut that out.
Yeah, that was
the editors
left
cut that
out.
out. You know, and sure, did she only attempt to talk 3 or 4 times? Of course. But it's a new environment. She gets nervous.
She's been there before, alone.
But we're big personalities.
Mm.
Small bodies,
Tiny.
big personalities. So anyway,
I do look small on this green screen.
You really
Can you
do,
just
unfortunately.
get rid of these little bumps?
No, that's not green. So we were on Sloppy Seconds, and one of the comments was like, the skinny one does the talking for everybody. And so I posted that on Twitter, and people laughed because it's true.
It's very funny.
Because I said, oh, he called me skinny. So then on a video on Instagram that they posted, somebody commented that exact same comment as like a wink, wink, I saw it. So then someone responded to that comment, skinny people are annoying like that, so are you. And so I thought, in my mind, okay, I thought they were coming to my defense.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that is so nice, but they're going to be so embarrassed when they find out that it's a joke.
Yeah.
So I said, oh no, baby. And I kid you not, I was emojiing. You know, I was doing all the like winky face, like trying to make it light. I was like, oh my God, we're laughing together. It was something that I said on Twitter, but thank you so much for coming to my defense. And they responded, nobody cares. So
But
then
I love your
said-
response to that.
I said, LOL, this took a turn. And then they responded, wait, I have to read it.
You
word
gotta
for
read it,
word.
'cause they were
It is
like-
batshit.
I was dying this morning. I showed it to my boyfriend. He's like, I need a backstory.
Again, this is the person that I thought was coming to my defense. They respond to me saying this took a turn with, don't know why I can't be rude on the internet anymore without someone sharing a little anecdote.
It's so good! Because honestly, same.
I would die for that person. I need to know more. And unfortunately, they're not following me and they're private. I'm just worried that they're going to be scared to accept my follow request because
it seems like a threat.
Well, no, I'm gonna tell them more anecdotes, little ones.
Every morning you wake up, you go straight to them. I got a fun story.
I comment on every single post with like a little tiny story. And you know, that's on me. I should not have given them my little anecdote.
I just think that that's like the internet now. Is everyone just wants to be mean again.
Okay.
Remember when we were against bullying, but now it's cool again?
I wanted on record, I've never been against bullying. It made me the person I am today.
Exactly. And look at us. Very well-adjusted adults.
We make shows on the internet so people will like us.
And they still don't.
No, they don't.
They hate it.
They don't. I think for the most part, people get our characters, but I do enjoy the comments on the Sloppy Seconds video where people are like, Darby and Meatball need to shut the fuck up. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
Listen,
fair.
Me and my therapist go through that all the time. It's not gonna happen.
Do you like your therapist?
I am coming around to them.
How long have you been?
It's been about 2 months,
Okay.
and we've been doing 2 sessions a week.
Oh.
I'm not well. I think it started because I stopped drinking when I was dying. I stopped drinking and smoking and all of the fun stuff, and I think that made me spiral.
Bitch, I can't raw dog life. I just can't.
Oh, I can't. That's why I went out drinking last night. I'm back on the sauce. Like, I have 2 whiskeys every night.
I don't know who you are without it.
Honestly, I don't know either. And when I try to do stuff sober, I'm like, am I funny? Am I alive?
Well, I only know I'm alive when I'm sober because I'm anxious. But I can tell you what I don't miss about being a binge drinker is the anxiety I felt the next day. The anxiety.
What is that?
Because I know I do insane things, okay? Alexis is calling.
Oh, she wants to make sure everything's
What
okay.
the fuck?
What, bitch?
I can't believe you would ever talk to me like you know that gets me hard.
Alexis!
Alexis!
You can't say that. This is a Christian podcast. What are you doing? Are you okay?
What the fuck are you doing? Who are you with?
We're filming.
It's me, Meatball. P.
Oh
Bevels.
my god, hi.
Hi, Diva.
I thought you were filming last night.
Oh, no, I
No.
was drinking, so
She
I
was
couldn't.
drinking and I did gummy and I ate a box of cookies. Do you want to tell everybody why you're gone? Do you have your story ready?
Yeah, I'm heartbroken and I've been crying, but I think I'm allergic to my tears.
Alexis!
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I was prompting you to lie. I didn't know that
You were really going to give it.
But honestly, you being allergic to your own tears.
That's perfect.
That's pretty cunt.
I should send you all a picture. My face is so red and like
You need
hurt.
an eye oil.
Yeah, you need to put a lot of oil on your face.
Olive oil, vegetable
Don't
oil.
wash it off. Don't wash
Leave it
off.
on there.
Yeah.
Meatball, thank you so much for filling in for me. If
Oh,
you want
no
any
problem.
tips- if you want any tips or any like bits, Darby really loves my bits.
Uh-oh, I'm going through a tunnel. I can't hear you.
I don't...
Listen,
Oh.
if we let it keep going, she
Oh.
would have done a bit.
Because she loves a bit. I could
loves
feel
a
it
bit.
rearing up.
You know my favorite thing about Alexis P. Bevels? Don't tell her I said this. Her bits are great,
Mhm.
right? But sometimes she gets lost in her own bit, which is my favorite because then when it occurs to her that she doesn't know where else to take it, she does this. And she makes desperate eye contact and like a deep like...
That's me. I had to do
I feel like you
improv
just
the other
screamed.
night. Yeah, I get louder and louder. I had to do improv the
No,
other night.
you didn't.
I know.
Where?
And it was for No Autographs, Please. It's a podcast
Yes.
with Arden Marine and Brian
I love
Safi.
Brian Safi.
I had a wonderful time. We're literally not ever going to talk about Dragula. I had to do improv and I was like, oh, I didn't realize that like I'm in the scene. Like they kept referring to me and turning to me and I thought I was just like the waiter. A couple times they would say something I would... The melons are over here. Like I literally just jumped into like horror and then just pointed at something and was like, over here are my shelves. Like just trying to build
Have
a
you
world.
done improv before?
I did improv one like 5 or 6 years ago.
It's really paid off for you. My best friend in Chicago, Michael, hi Michael, he tried improv because he's naturally funny.
Mm-hmm.
Being naturally funny doesn't
Does
mean
not
you
work
do
in improv.
So I went to his first improv show. This is what he did for every single scene. And he's from Wisconsin. And when he gets nervous, it seems like his Wisconsin accent gets nuts. So like they're doing a scene and they're in like a movie theater. They pull the chairs, you know, and they're like, I love this movie. And then like they kind of turn to Michael waiting for him to chime in. And Michael's going, ooh. I don't know, guys. Ooh. I'm worried every scene. No matter what they were doing, if they were in a kitchen, ooh.
That was me! I was just pointing at things in the room. I was like, well, maybe if I create something. And at one point, Brian looked at me and goes, where are we? My basement!
That's the Meatball experience.
It truly is.
It's
I
the
never really know what's
chaos.
going on.
It's the chaos.
I used to show up to things and be like, to podcasts specifically, be like, don't tell me anything about it. I just kind of like just showing up and finding out while we're doing it. And I had to stop doing that because I listened to myself on so many podcasts being like, what are you talking about? And they're like, well, this segment we're doing this.
Oh, God. Oh, geez.
Oh, geez. I'm a mess. So anyway, what are we doing here?
So this is IMHO. It's a show where we talk about shows for about 5 to 10 seconds.
Is that Shoshana Bean?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I have a cardboard cutout of Danny DeVito and
he'd be
Shoshana
watching.
Bean. Have you ever met her?
No, have you?
Bitch. Yes. I was a runner-up in one of her online contests years ago. And then I went to see her in Beaches, the musical. In Chicago. I, like, put it in my story. And she was like, oh, my God, let's meet after. And I was like... okay, Shoshana Bean. So she came out the stage door after with a bottle of whiskey, and she's like, I drink between shows like to keep my voice warm. She's like, do you want some? And I was like, do I want to drink Shoshana Bean's whiskey in a parking lot in Downers Grove? Absolutely. She's so nice.
Is she? Okay, yeah.
And
She's
beautiful.
like friends with Willow.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I buy that.
Didn't you also almost meet the ladies from My Favorite Murder, but then you didn't answer your Instagram messages?
I have a story about that. It's one of my biggest, deepest regrets.
And now they say Pickle's their favorite drag queen.
That's what I was going to say. Did you hear that?
I listened to it and I loved it.
I was so excited for Pickle, don't get me wrong. But I'm a
you're
Leo.
being jealous.
But I'm a Leo. Alexis and I did a My Favorite Murder show in Milwaukee. And we dressed up as them. It was the same night that they were going to be in Milwaukee. And we ended up messaging back and forth with Georgia's husband. Like, oh yeah, we're going to see if we can make it. We hope we can make it. And then I left my phone in the basement.
As you do.
Because you're at a gig.
You're at a gig. Who's walking around holding their phone at the gig?
Exactly. They knew where it was, but they didn't want to come in through the front door. Because obviously.
Stars.
And so I keep
like
getting these texts that are like, hey, where can we come in? We're here. Where can we come in? And I didn't see them and they left.
That's always tough.
I hold it. But silver lining, when they were on CBS This Morning with Gayle King, they used a bunch of pictures of people like who were fans, and there was a picture of me and Alexis dressed up as them. And then Gayle King said, so people dress up like you? That's weird. Gayle King, call me weird.
And now she's got a show. Anyway, who cares?
Yeah,
Gayle King.
fuck Gayle King.
Gayle King.
Oh, Dragula.
Bop, 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 da.
Now, were you on it?
I was on season 1 many moons ago, almost 8-9 years ago.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Do you think that that's what caused you to spread like a disease through the world?
Absolutely.
Do you think it helped?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. It was a great way for me to like get introduced to more people.
And fart.
And fart. I was asked to be on it because that's the whole first season was just like LA girls that were like coming up. But Vander was an LA girl, but I had never heard of her or met her or done anything with her. She used to perform pop songs. And then
Vander Von Odd?
Yes. It's crazy. She used to perform at Redline all the time. And I think I maybe met her one time. But I won the Dragula bar competition twice. So then they asked me to be on the show.
Oh, because you farted.
I farted. One time they poured a bucket of water on me and it was filled with dead fish. And then I had to like jump on a trampoline with the dead fish and I like put it in my mouth and like took a bite out of it and spat it at the audience.
You jumped on a trampoline?
And it didn't break. I was thin.
Were you so tired?
I was so tired.
Oh, no, I know. So I didn't watch season 1. I gotta admit, I was very busy that year. You know,
we all were.
I lost my kids. And it was a fire. It's not a big deal. They're at peace. But this week, for whatever reason, I'm a YouTube girly. I have a show on YouTube. I don't know if you've heard. I got recommended y'all's reunion on Hate Queen.
Oh, God.
And so I just played a few minutes of it because I was like, oh, you know what? I've never watched anything from season 1.
I was so drunk.
You were hilarious looking.
I was so drunk. Looking.
Yeah, and you had a walker. Was that after you broke your hip?
I had broken my hip.
I love that.
And they were like, everyone's got to be there. And so when I broke my hip, they cut my costume off of me and they cut through the hip pad. So I only had one hip pad.
Oh, no.
So I had to do the whole thing with towels shoved up my side so that I could figure out the shape.
And you know what? I saw it.
You saw the vision of my like leopard print dumb outfit?
I saw the vision. I didn't see the towel.
The hair was beautiful though. I liked that hair.
It was big.
It was huge.
Yeah. This is smaller than I would like. But
I'm in smaller wigs now.
I'm wearing my Lee because you are the reason I own Lee's.
Lee in Spanish?
Wigs.
Well, that's a Lee in what? Golden blonde? Goldenrod?
I can't do Spanish brown because I'm not Spanish.
Mm.
Although I have been to Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Let's talk about this fucking show.
Dun, 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 Dragula.
Cunt. Horror. Filth. Cunt.
Did you see the TikTok where someone said the big one sounds like a chair being pulled across the floor?
No.
Okay.
Do you know that they don't like being called Big and Little One?
Really?
Yeah, but it's a perfect description. I would love the ease of the brand. I think they're so smart with their branding. I think that is a missed opportunity.
I think that this season in particular, they're having more fun. And they're like, you're seeing a little bit more of their personality.
I'm loving it. I told Alexis last week when they were talking about how their armpits were hurting.
Oh,
from the
yeah,
costume.
pinching.
I love that they talked about that.
Yeah.
Because, like, imagine on Drag Race, if RuPaul's armpit hurt, she'd burn it to the ground.
Yeah. Oh, everyone would be dead.
Dead. And rightfully so. Okay, so we return. Neo actually survives, and she comes in the workroom wearing a dress very similar to this.
Yes.
Very
Spooky.
similar
Is
to
this a
this.
Neo original?
Yes.
What is this from?
Akira.
Who is that?
It's a long table room. They're standing around the long table, and we find out, guess what? Everyone still hates JK.
What was that about? It was so annoying.
Now, I get that this was filmed a long time ago, and so they didn't realize, I don't think, that JK would be so popular with
No.
the fandom. Even not realizing how popular they would be. Hating them this much?
It doesn't make any sense to
What do
me.
you think of this whole season JK arc?
It feels as though they wanted everyone to make JK the villain, but unfortunately they're not showing us JK doing anything that bad.
It's making them the villain.
It's making everyone else the villain, and unfortunately, I was on team, I know we're gonna get to it, but I really did not like the way Throb was talking to JK at all. And I don't like the way they're all attacking her, or him, them.
Sure.
It? Let's just go they.
I
think
do
don't
they, them.
care.
It's just like
Let's just say them for everyone.
for fair.
I just don't like the way everyone's treating them.
No, and you know what? I was very much on Throb Zombie's side at the beginning.
Me too.
Like episodes ago. Because they really seem to want to help JK. Again, like you said, we're not seeing the stuff that they're like, you need to stop being so awful, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't seeing any of that, but I did feel like it was coming from a really nice place.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really shocked that this episode, they're like, yeah, I still hate you.
They all did that. Even Organic, who was like,
Well,
we got
Organic-
along
Organic
for the thing.
super hates JK.
What did JK do?
It's super weird, but it's also kind of funny. When Organic said something, and then JK's like, you're not going to say that. And he goes,
I just did.
I just did. That was funny.
That was funny.
But yeah.
Organic constantly does those little jokes. But I don't know if they know that it's a joke.
But it makes me laugh.
But it makes me laugh.
So we find out it's space sex work?
Sexy space workers.
Sexy space working.
I did like that they were like being like sex work is real and people do it and like let's draw attention to it. But I didn't like that they were like let's take it to space.
Listen,
and they kept on talking about their transgender, cinder, what do they call it? Transmitter.
Transsexual. Didn't they Transylvania?
But they kept on describing that object. They were like, we're going to use our transgender
Oh, yeah.
message.
I tried to write it down, but I couldn't figure out what the word was, so I just moved on. No, I really did appreciate them saying, like, sex work is work. That was nice, but I agree. If you're gonna do sex work, you want to do it in a place where there's oxygen available.
Yeah.
Doing it in space...
Doesn't make any sense.
You'll die. Also, how could you get paid enough to even get up there in the first place? To
Yeah,
make it worth
Jeff
it?
Bezos? Come on. Get on SpaceX? What did he call it?
Well, that's Elon Musk.
Oh.
Jeff Bezos, he actually...
Did he go to space?
He's not a good person. He's a great body.
Rockin' bod, squinty eye. He looks meaty, and I want to kind of grab at it.
He looks like a meaty little teapot.
Meaty little teapot.
Yeah.
Short and stout.
With enough money to literally save the world.
And he won't.
I love Prime deals.
Oh, but I forgot. I didn't like the going around the table saying who needs to go home and why. And then the fake orgasms. It was all just so produced.
You know, we've said this all season. The long table room stuff is so long.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. They watch our show. They love that we've called it the long table rooms. They're trying to give us what we said. And thank you for being patrons. But it's so contrived.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd rather watch them work on their costumes longer.
Yes,
or
I want to see
talk
more of the
through
costume
process.
creation, even though I know that's all fake too.
But I don't mind a fake costume.
Yeah.
Because at least I have something to look at. And what kills me is they talk forever, they go get the video message, they come back and they talk again.
some more!
At
Oh, well.
least bring in a game or something. A mini challenge.
Yeah,
where they
mini
all
challenge or
just
something.
jerk
They
off.
used to do those. I would watch them all jerk it.
It's a very attractive cast.
They're all so hot.
Yeah. Can I tell you my deepest, darkest obsession with this cast?
Mm-hmm.
Cynthia Dahl.
She's my absolute favorite.
She feeds me in a way that I don't have ever been done before.
I think it's very funny that I can't tell if she is not self-aware or if she is so self-aware that she's able to pretend.
She's turned it on its head.
Yeah, she's like flipped it around. She's like, I don't sound like that! And it's like, yeah.
I completely agree. Last week, she was trying to confront JK in the long table room for no reason, and she kind of lost the plot to the point that Orgotic just put their arm around her, like...
It's not worth it, boo.
But then this episode, she seemed to be fully aware. I don't know. I think she's an enigma, and I'm obsessed.
Wrapped in a riddle.
Wrapped in a riddle, baby. You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen that musical?
Yeah.
My best friend growing up played Sally Brown, and she was nominated for a Memphis Theater Award.
Mm.
She was in high school. But this woman who had been an actor in Memphis for 20 years, she was this big name, she died. And she was also nominated. So we were like, I'm so sorry, Betsy. Like, you're not going to win this. But, like, how exciting. She did win it. But because this woman was, like, such a staple in the community, everyone was just pissed. Because this, like, little high school girl got up there and was like, thank you so much.
Well, the lady's
And
dead.
it was just like... It was a different time. It was 2001. Okay, we just lost the Towers.
Oh.
And then we lost that actor.
We had awards like that. They were called the Tommy Tune Awards.
I love Tommy
Yeah,
Tune.
he's from Houston. So we'd all get together and, like,
That's
the high
fun.
schools would perform one number in front of each other, but, like, on a big Broadway
Like the Jimmy
stage.
Awards.
Sure.
Do you know what those are?
No.
They're the, like, big high school theater awards. This is where Renee Rapp was discovered.
Oh.
The guy that was in No Hard Feelings. The Ratatouille musical guy. What's his name? Andrew Berth Feldman.
Ratatouille musical.
You remember during pandemic, TikTok did a Ratatouille musical?
I don't think I was on that side of TikTok.
Okay. Let's start with the Boulets looks. I love this.
I loved it. They looked great. The shoulders are incredible. They've been really slaying it this whole season, except for the hotel
White.
and the white, green
What do you
hat.
think it was?
According to the internet, it was just art. And sometimes art is just art.
You know, sometimes art
It looked like a soap dish.
is objective, okay? And
Those
can
were
judge it.
objectively bad.
And I love how vocal they were about it on the show. They just seem to hate it so much. That's real.
That's real.
That's drag, Malma. And then the guest judge, David
David
Dastmalchian.
Dastmalchian.
Do you know him?
I do not know him personally, but I've seen him out a lot. He enjoys the dolls.
Curtis, my husband, I don't know if you know, I'm married.
The director?
Yeah, you know him. He is wearing a beret when he set up the camera. It was a whole
Oh,
bit.
sorry. I thought that was on.
No, it's funny though.
Okay.
It's funny, and thank you for doing that. Curtis's first movie, he starred in with David.
Really?
It was David Dastmalchian, Kevin Pollak, and Curtis. It was called Teacher.
That's huge.
Yeah, it was called Teacher. Basically, like, Curtis is this bully kid in high school, and David Dastmalchian's his teacher. And he was also bullied. And Kevin Pollak is the rich dad. He's Curtis's, like, rich dad. And then David Dastmalchian kind of goes insane because he hates Curtis so much. So he, like, kidnaps him with a gun. Yeah, anyway.
I
don't
love
wanna
that.
spoil
I
it.
want to kidnap Curtis. My boyfriend wouldn't do any of this shit for me.
I loved when he was like crying in the woods and David Dastmalchian's like pointing a gun at him. I was like, I can see that for us. Well, I
love love.
I like seeing the future. What it can bring, okay? I'm not saying that David Dastmalchian's
Do you have a
gonna
gun?
actually kill him. But it'd be kind of funny if he did.
Did you know David Dastmalchian has a, what are they called when you get buried?
Buried?
Caskets.
Yeah.
He has custom caskets. You can buy a casket from him. Isn't that creepy?
And you know what? I buy that. I don't.
He's like weird like that.
He's so fucking nice. When Curtis and I flew out to LA for the little premiere, you know, small scale, but little premiere, he was just so fucking sweet. And he brought Steve Agee.
Oh, Steve Agee. I
Yeah.
love him.
Loved him.
He's so nice.
He made me laugh. They were both just
They're
so
so
sweet.
funny.
But I guess David works with this theater company here. They put on like little shows with only actors and performers with disabilities. There was one literally down the street a few months ago, and Curtis and I were like, well, let's go. It was amazing. It was so fun. And it was David up there with them, like acting out with them, helping them do choreography.
Oh my God. I love when people give back.
Oh, I
and they're
was
like
so
quiet
horny.
about
I
it.
was so horny, I gotta say. Just seeing like...
He was hot with the dark. I'm usually not into
He's
guys with
always
makeup, but
been
I was
hot.
just like,
I like a thin, frail, tall... I like myself.
yeah.
I like myself.
I mean, I'd fuck myself.
Someone has to.
Let's get into these looks, mama.
So, up first, according to Instagram, Cynthia Doll.
I agreed that the pants were not it. I did like the cell phone and like the hi sinners and doing that, but I think they all kind of lost the plot on like what an alien should look like. The last time this challenge was done super well was when Bitch Puddin was the waitress alien.
Yes.
And she was fully green, but it was her actual body, and the costume was silver. And it was like a cunty take on it, and I feel like these are all like lesser versions of that.
Muppets.
Yeah.
Muppets. Let's pull up JK's look, too, while we're talking about her.
It was the
because
exact same look.
I want to do... Yeah, JK's look was green with a bunch of mouths all over the body. With, I agree, a shitty t-shirt and shorts, just like Cynthia.
Like, the shorts could have been rhinestone. They could have been silver.
Yes.
They could have had little, you know, like Jetsons-inspired things with, like, the rings or something
My thing
cool.
is, like, you went ahead and you put mouths all over you. I loved the mouths, and I loved the makeup. Like, you did so much. Why give up
cover
there?
it up?
But, I gotta say, if I'm comparing the two, as much as I love Cynthia Doll, I think JK did more.
JK's was better, in my opinion.
think
And I
JK's
don't
was
understand why
way
Cynthia was
better. Safe.
when JK also gave a very funny line reading.
Not even in the bottom, she was safe. It
Blew
doesn't
my
make
mind.
sense
Blew
to
my
me.
mind.
It doesn't make sense to me. And I love her, and I loved the kind of
I
concept.
like the big lips.
But the wearing like a fleece blanket bodysuit and then wearing the exact same thing that JK got red for, it didn't make sense to me.
It didn't make sense at all. They are in the exact same outfit.
Exact same outfit. Down to the toes. Well, she's wearing dinosaur toes that don't make any sense to me. But the JK, look at JK's toes.
Oh my god.
They're hanging through the boots. They're like little dangles.
I feel like everyone thought that this was going to be a different challenge, or like a smaller challenge.
I don't want to assume, but I will. I have to assume that none of them have been to space before.
And I have to assume that none of them have purchased a sex worker before, because none of the ones I've ever given my money to have shown up in booty shorts and a crop top.
I hired a sexy massage sex worker.
Recently?
No, for my 25th birthday.
Okay, slice it, slice it, slice.
He did ask me in the chat. He was like, when you answer the door, I'm usually dressed and like I'm holding my massage table, but I do offer, like, I can be standing at your door naked, like with the thing if you want. And I was like, well, I have roommates, so like, please don't do that. But also, please do that.
Please do that!
It was great. And he didn't charge me extra for the full service, because he goes, usually the only people who hire me are like old dudes, and you're like a cute little twink, so I won't charge you for the extra
That's what
stuff.
they would say to me too.
Isn't that
They're like,
nice?
usually the people that hire me are like ugly and old men. When I open the door, they're like shocked that I'm young.
Yeah, he literally went, oh. And I was like, okay, do you want to put it in my butt? He didn't.
I had one that I hired, and he opted to come dressed as Superman.
I just out of nowhere.
On his own, he was like, I offer this. I can dress up as a superhero if you would like. I wear the Superman suit. And he sent me a bunch of videos in the Superman thing. And I was at the point where I was just like, yeah, I mean, I don't fucking care, dude. Show up dressed like Superman as long as it's not extra. He shows up like Superman. He comes into the room, takes off his trench coat, because we were in Philly and it was cold.
Nice.
He comes into my hotel room, takes off his trench coat, and he was like, do you mind if I pretend to fly in? And I was like, what? And he went over to the window and opened it, and he was like, cover your eyes. And then I was like waiting, he was like, okay, you can look. And he goes, in place, he jumps and goes, huh, I made it. And that was his entrance.
I would have come instantly.
I almost did. He was hot. He wore the Superman outfit the whole time. He had like briefs that he could pull off and it was like out. And then I had to pretend like I was holding kryptonite and he was like, oh God, the kryptonite. And I was like, I'm Lex Luthor. I got you. I really went in. It was really, no, this is 100% real. I've told this story so many times, but it's my favorite sex worker
You know what's so, like, what's hot about that is not that situation. It is the dedication to the bit.
Mm-hmm.
He was fully in, and that will always make me hard.
And it was making him so hard to play along that it made it fun for me. That I even think like at the end of it, I don't even know if he like charged
Lex
me.
Luthor.
I did. I was like, shave me bald, baby.
Oh my god, that is, I want to hire him. Where is
Go to
he
Philly.
now?
I don't know.
That's where Curtis's family is.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that's what we'll do for our anniversary.
I've always wanted to hire one of those tantric sex workers where they're like,
Do you think that you, I understand that, but do you think you have ADHD?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
think that you'd be able to stay focused the whole time?
well, I think that's part of the practice is that you have to like constantly be like meditating and trying to stay in the moment.
That sounds like so much work.
You just want to get it railed and over
I
with.
just want to, I'll tell you what I miss, okay? I'm not...
Little dicks?
I love them.
I miss them.
I love when they're so hard.
They're rock hard
They're
and they're like
always
3.5
so hard.
inches.
They've got plenty of blood to go around. But also, like, when I was an active sex addict, I haven't been for years, but yes, it was destructive to me and my life. However, I was able to completely turn my brain off and just go completely animal style, like full on Thousand Island dressing on French fries. Whereas like now, I'm just fully conscious and aware of
yeah.
what's happening, and I giggle. I'm a sex giggler.
Oh, I forgot to put my nails on.
Honestly, I didn't expect you to have nails on.
I brought them. I really came
Alexis
to turn it out.
Never wears nails.
This is my alien outfit.
And I want y'all to know, this is like early in the day.
Yeah.
We're doing early.
We got started at
Thank
9
you for
a.m.
doing
It's okay.
that.
I have a meeting in Koreatown at 1.
We're not anywhere near Koreatown.
I know, I'm going to take my makeup off downstairs. Also, I have a load of laundry going right now, so I'm going to need that to dry before I can leave.
Are the clothes that you put in there as soiled as Alexis's have been?
I did shit myself on the way here, so maybe?
More than once?
Just the once.
Oh, Alexis got you beat.
Loose stool.
Great drag name.
Oh, great drag name. Why has no one done that?
We should tell someone. Okay.
Speaking of bearded queens.
Blackberry. This was so fucking
My Houston
cool.
diva. Did you know that Blackberry is my mom's favorite drag queen?
That sucks.
I know. Anytime I'm in town, she's like, text Blackberry, see what's up.
That's so sweet.
I know. So we anytime we're in town, I have so many photos of my mom and my dad with Blackberry. We went to her Hamburger Mary's show. She put me in a show once at the Improv.
I love her.
I love Blackberry.
All Chicago people love Blackberry because she's one of the few Houston girls that she came a lot. She was always in Chicago. So I was automatically on board. I loved this outfit. I love her drag so much because it is so polished and beautiful, which is something they said.
Why are they using that against her?
Well, because Dragula, I do think, like, gross. I do want there to be some sort of growth.
Well, maybe just those challenges haven't come up yet. But anyway, she looks 100% perfect. If you go to her Instagram, you can see all the inspiration, but it's like Beyonce. Like, it's just...
I think if she were to ever do the other one, I think she'd win it.
No, I heard that they can't do the other one.
Why? Oh, because of Dragula?
Yeah. If you do one drag competition show, you can't do the other one, apparently.
Well, I think
And that includes, you know, there's like 4 or 5 other ones.
No, there's not. What's the other one?
Camp Wanakiki.
That's barely a show. If Alexis Bevels can win it.
On roller skates.
Then we had Fantasia. Now, I have a huge issue here. They said that this was not alien sex worker.
Then what is it?
Then what
Then
is
what the
it?
fuck is it? Tell me what that's supposed to be. They called it a gnome. What is a gnome but an alien of our own planet?
Thank you. A hard alien that doesn't move.
Exactly.
This was...
I didn't like that they kept calling it Cirque. Because I know that if she was at a circus wearing that, it wouldn't stay on. Those pasties would pop right off.
Oh, absolutely. And she's not... What is she going to do? A cartwheel for art? No.
Can she do a cartwheel?
This is not safely. This is an alien sex worker, and I just didn't understand it. And the other thing that made me upset about it, sorry, she was in the bottom instead of Cynthia. That didn't make sense to me. And you know I would die for Cynthia Doll.
Me too.
But this look was not it.
There's the door, bitch!
And if you're putting JK in the bottom for that look, and she's wearing the exact same look, put them both in the bottom.
Put them both in the bottom. But I liked it. Did I
it a
know
lot.
exactly where to buy that fabric? Absolutely. Did I know how it was made? Completely. But I still loved it.
That fabric drives me nuts. There's a girl that I'm obsessed with. Are you watching Canada? Don't protect your peace. But she's...
You touched me and I
She's
shivered.
57. Her name's Kitten. She's an incredible drag queen. But all of her clothes are this fabric. And it drives me
That's that thing.
bonkers.
But remember, I feel like what happens with drag is it gets secular. Like, when you first start, you only want to wear one color and do this thing and this thing and this thing.
What was
and
your
then
first color? What was your first color?
Red and orange.
Mine was nude. I got made fun of. You know who made fun of me? Kimchi. Kimchi.
She's vicious.
Y'all don't, well, you probably do. You've seen her. She's so vicious. And I will say, when I was starting out in drag, she was very helpful to me. She did a wig she was like showing me how to do wigs. She like helped me with my eyes. Like she was super, super sweet. And I only had to pay her in Chipotle.
Okay, perfect.
Which I thought was great. But she doesn't let anything go.
No.
And so for years after I started drag and I had my nude era, she called it beige. She's like, so what beige dress are you gonna wear tonight? I stopped wearing it because of her. Because of her.
I don't like to, I mean, I'm wearing brown and black right now, but I don't.
Yeah, but pattern.
Pattern. I don't get wearing all beige all the time.
You know what it is?
Some girls
As
do
a
it.
fair-skinned person, beige appears on my... Thank you.
You shave your arms.
Yeah, for Curtis. It makes it easier to get inside.
Ah.
For a pale-skinned person wearing like a beige, it actually looks like a color.
Okay.
Because I don't have any color.
You're kind of translucent.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Then we had Orgotic.
I'm tired.
I don't know what...
It's giving alien, maybe, depending on what you imagine an alien is. But I agree that it kind of just looks like a Hellraiser character.
Yeah, okay. I love Organic because I don't think there's been a monster like them before, and I really enjoy how insane they are. It's very, very fun for me. However, this is, I think, the third challenge they've done that does not meet the criteria of what it is. Like,
yeah.
at all.
At all. Oh, at all.
Wearing the club kid boots over and over, and I just...
And if I have to see them saran wrap their face, they're basically doing mask drag.
Yeah.
Saran wrap their face and then use pool noodles for one more look. I'm gonna lose my mind.
I mean, it certainly is scary. I've had a nightmare about them. I've absolutely
Sexually?
had a nightmare. No. Scary. They were gonna kill me. Wear my skin?
Wear my skin.
Although
I do
that was
think
funny.
it was very funny. That's the thing is, like, I think they saved themselves because their monologue was fucking hilarious.
If you want to fuck me, give me your skin. Okay.
Okay, I'm in.
I'm in. Here's the other thing. I think Organic is throwing glass stones in a really scary house. Because Organic's like, JK, your shit's not polished. Like, you're just not as good as everyone else. Your stuff's not polished. But ma'am, I can see your paper mache. I can see your masking tape. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to see
Like-
them do something besides the saran wrap face, and then they can maybe start making fun of other people's work. But I will say that JK, at least, like, their mug has been completely different every single week, and it's so good.
They're so good.
You know, I watched Nina Bonina Brown's, and she hates JK's makeup.
She hates everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, she's tough. They're doing the same thing over and over, which is fine, but it,
Yeah, coming from me, someone who wears the exact same eye makeup every time.
every time.
Wore this dress 4 times this month.
What Alexis said to me last week, we were talking about maybe putting in an audition tape for a show. And she's like, yeah, we'd have to figure out a way to be able to change our makeup between our looks. And I was like, you might. What the
Baby,
fuck would
they're
I
gonna
do?
get blue eyeshadow every
What
week.
would I do? I just want them to lay off just a little. That's all.
Yes. It doesn't look as polished as, say, someone like Throbs.
Right. So Throb looks incredible.
I thought it was great.
And the prolapsed butthole.
It was so good.
Man.
The black hole. They kept calling it a black hole.
And it was.
And it was.
But I just...
And to have the fake... Sorry.
No, go.
Sorry to cut you off. The skinny one's gonna interrupt.
Thank you.
The fake money. The attention to detail. Even though the fucking money gun didn't work, the concept of having that made was so good.
Is this this might be, though, the second or third time on a drag reality series that someone has tried to use a money gun and it is jammed. I think we need to retire the money gun. It's just not gonna work. The success rate is low.
It's so low.
Okay? Like a late term abortion.
And how do you test that before you go on? Shoot a couple out first?
Which can jam it. Don't do it. Let's do classic.
I remember the good old days.
Yeah.
You ever been to a strip club?
Yes.
I haven't.
You've never been to a
No. The one time I tried, they said I was too drunk to get in.
Curtis was...
Stripping?
No, but he would look so good.
Mhm.
No, Curtis was working in Michigan. He was doing a theater thing in
Kalamazoo?
Michigan. Yeah.
Mhm.
Remember the Uber killer, the Uber driver that shot a bunch of people in Kalamazoo?
No.
Okay, that happened. This
Okay.
Uber driver killed a bunch of people. He'd pick people up and shoot them. We were literally calling an Uber in Kalamazoo at the time, but it was taking too long to get one because it's Kalamazoo. So we ended up walking to the brewery. What's the brewery there? Two Brothers, I don't know. And we try to get in and it's locked. The door's locked, but there's tons of people inside. And so we're banging on the door and someone finally comes and opens it and they're like, get inside, get inside. And they lock the door and they told us there's an active shooter loose in Kalamazoo. Isn't that scary?
That's horrifying.
Anyway, but we went to a strip club, not that night, but I was so wasted. I was like, I'm gonna be like the fun, cool gay guy. I'm gonna make these women feel so appreciated. So this one girl, she came kind of close to us and I'm handing her money and I'm like, you are beautiful. What's your name? What's your story? We ended up talking for a very long time and it was horrible in the end for her and me because I didn't have any more money to give her. And then she was trauma dumping on me. Which honestly I do kind of like.
I like that when a girl
I
tells
do
you her
wish her
story.
well.
Oh, wait, I'm lying. I've been to 2 strip clubs. One of them was Cheetah's over here. Oh, and I've been to Jumbo's Clown Room over here. I took my brother there because I thought he'd like it because it was ladies stripping.
Yeah,
and
boobies.
an 80-year-old stripper kept sitting on his lap and he was like, we have to go. And then the other one I went to was when I was in Atlanta. It's in the basement of this hotel that we were staying at. Very fun hotel, can't remember it. It was when I did Fat Slut over there. And we went down there and it was all 70-year-old women strippers. strippers. One of them was using her very saggy tits and like slapping them up and like hitting
That's
them
like
on
juggling.
the shoulder.
That's fun.
Yeah, it was
That's
really
fun.
good. It was a good time. We were throwing our money at it. One of them was too tall for the stage, so their head was touching it.
Listen, you make do. Okay, strippers make do. I went to an all-male strip club.
I want to do that.
There's one called Boxers and Briefs on the other side of the river from St. Louis in Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all just straight college guys
Whew! Who just need a job, baby.
just
I
need a
got the
job.
money.
who are on Viagra all night. So they're just walking around with socks over their gigantic hard cocks. And this like super hot guy came and like straddled my leg as I was sitting at the bar. And I was like, you're straight though. Like, you don't like this. And he was like, I think you're really cute. Like, you're definitely... I was like, no, you don't. I was like, tell me your real name. And we ended up talking about he was in college. And
Only you!
Well, I wanted
Tell
to
me your
know.
real name!
I wanted to know. He was in college and he was in it for sports science or something. Because he was like very muscly. Huge cock. And after we finished talking, you're only allowed to show your cock in the back room. The back room was, have you ever been to an office and all the dividers, the gray dividers? It was that. It was just a bunch of cubicles in this back room. And he asked if I wanted to come back, and I said, honestly, no. Like, for me, sex for me.
Para me.
Spooky me. I get turned on when people are turned on by me.
Yes.
So if you're not interested in me, it really doesn't do a lot for me, but...
Oh, actually, I'm the opposite.
You like it when you can get it.
I like whatever I get.
Yeah. And you know what? The world thanks you for that.
Thank you.
Anyway, I hope you're in sports science, whatever that is.
Yeah, I hope you made it. There's a club in Minneapolis called The Saloon where they do a show called The Shower Show, where it's legal for people to be completely nude if they're behind a piece of glass.
Yeah.
So they pump the water through, so the water's recycled. So by the end of the shower show, it's kind of dirty.
Not great,
But you can slide money through a little slot in the glass.
Wall.
Well, they stick it to the wall, or they'll smack it with their dick to get it out, and it's so nice.
There's a club in Louisville, Kentucky called Connections, and there's one room in the middle with a shower stall that's just clear glass, and it's just a dongy stripper taking a shower, and he's just swinging the dong around, and it's just him taking dongy, and it's just him taking, okay, dongy. And it's him just taking
Get out, me swamp!
dollar bills and putting them on the wall. Bitch, that's a good time.
I accidentally slipped a 20 thinking it was a 10, and he afterwards thanked me by letting me grab his penis. But that's always so uncomfortable because it's like, I only really want to grab it if it's going to get hard.
Although, I do love a soft one.
Oh, I do too. Post-cum, that's my favorite time to be like...
I think, you know what it is because I'm so gorgeous that I never get to see them soft. Because as soon as they get a look...
I'm hard right now.
Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
Okay, Neo. I loved everything about
it was
this.
so good. The fact that they couldn't walk because it was just a breastplate around their waist.
When they came back out for the judging, and everyone came out, and then Neo's just slowly walking, and they played like music. That was so funny.
It was the funniest part of the whole episode. I appreciate this so much.
Me
There's
too.
so many things happening. And I didn't like the lady judge who said, maybe edit. I was like, what would you get rid of here? What about this do you want to not see?
Like, you want to take away more tits? They're incredible.
They're amazing.
I did love, though, that during her little, like, speech, like, selling herself, she starts with, like, for this amount of money, you can touch my titties. For this amount of money, you can touch my testicle titties. And for this amount of money, the biggest amount, she's like, you can touch my hip titties. I was like, baby, start with the hip titty.
Yeah,
no one wants the hip titty.
Well, they said you can see the front and the back with the hip titty. But I think the real titty is up here. These should have been the most expensive.
No, I would... Testicle titties? Are you kidding? Because you get two. You get a titty and you get a testicle. That's two genitals in one. Are tits genitals?
I think technically yes.
Oh.
Well, maybe not.
Alexis has gorgeous genitals now.
Oh, yeah, but she got big old nippies like me, huh?
Yeah, but she looks so good.
We gotta get her those nipple suckers so that they can pop out. She's gorgeous.
You know what's my favorite thing? Is whenever we do any out of drag stuff and we put it on Patreon or online or whatever, everyone's always like, oh my God.
She's beautiful.
She's gorgeous. Anyway,
and she got the bangs.
Bangs?
I almost came in a little
so
brown
good.
bang and big glasses and was like, I'm Alexis. But I didn't.
Thank you for putting in that.
I actually put drag on today.
Which is not something Alexis does often.
My eyebrows did not decide to join the chat.
What do you mean?
They're just weird. You know, I get nervous around you because your makeup is so good and mine is always so garbage.
Oh, I had a really tough time today.
It was because it was so early.
Well, and in my mind, I was like, because I texted you making a joke about you feeling insecure around how gorgeous I am.
And it's true.
And then I was like, oh, well, now I have to make her feel insecure. And then I fucked up my eyes. But you know what? I'm wearing a Lee And I think that's doing most of the heavy
It's
lifting.
doing all the heavy lifting.
You know? Okay, so we find out Blackberry wins. I loved her costume so much, but my favorite thing was, you know, they'd come out, they do their walk, and then we get like the boom, boom, and they're all doing the weird, gross stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But only thing that Blackberry could do was play with her tits. So every time she'd go,
But her speech was definitely the most well-written and performed.
right? I thought she was a robot.
I didn't like when they cut her off when she was giving her phone number. The 01011 was 00.
So funny.
And then they chopped it. I was like, I know she did that for like 2 minutes straight,
you know
probably.
she did. One of my favorite things of like sense of humor types is people who take things too long.
Mm-hmm.
I like when the audience gets mad.
Me too.
So we find out Fantasia and JK are in the bottom. Again,
Makes no sense.
would have put Cynthia down there.
Cynthia and JK makes more sense, but also I didn't think JK's performance was that bad.
I will say that the jeans and the t-shirt really did. Like when I heard the Big Boulay say, you're on Dragula and you're wearing a t-shirt and jean shorts, I was like, okay, I see that. That is a little...
That is, yeah, it's not elevated. Or if they weren't even like an elevated version of it. It wasn't like a space version of t-shirt.
But she put in so much effort on the like mouths and her makeup and her body.
And having the mouths
headpiece.
be all liquidy.
So I'm like, you've done all that work. Like even just, I don't know, a fucking bra made out of that. What's that material that Victoria Black uses all the time?
Silicone?
No, the cosplay material that she makes the like 3D.
Oh, right, the Warbler or whatever it's called.
Make a bra and panties out of that.
Oh yeah, no one, and I did have to kind of agree with the Boulets that no one really gave space. Like a lot of them were like space, or they were like alien, but none of it was like elevated courtesan of the outer space world.
I was getting a lot of Fraggle Rock.
No, they said that. They said had a bunch of Muppets.
That is Muppets, I forgot. So we find out the extermination is they're brought in a metal box, which is automatically I'm out.
I'm out.
I'm out.
I don't need to feel the cold metal on my skin.
Are you claustrophobic?
Yes, absolutely.
What's been the worst moment where you thought you were gonna die?
I was trapped in the elevator at Precinct for like 45 minutes one time. Yeah, and I was alone. That was the part that got me. If someone else was in there, probably could have talked about it. Also...
Did you have to pee?
No, not yet. I was just getting there. So I just had all my stuff with me, and I was like, if I go... Because I was afraid it was going to fall. But then also, season 1 of Dragula, they put us in that little coffin, and I didn't like that.
Ugh.
And
Oh
it wasn't
God.
a David Dasmalkian coffin.
God damn it, David. When I was a child, we would go down to Destin, Florida every year. That's where everyone in Memphis went to vacation. We go to Florida. So
They have
a
beach?
You have to beach. So you have to drive through Alabama to get there. And there was right at Mobile, Alabama. There's an old warship, like the USS Alabama or whatever the fuck, and a submarine. And so every year we would do the warship, but we never did the submarine because my mom is claustrophobic and she's like, I can't. And so finally one year my dad's like, I want to do it. Like, kids come with me, mom will stay in the car. I was young, I didn't know what claustrophobic was. Bitch, you get in this submarine where there's this much space.
No.
And it's packed. So from the entrance to the exit, there's one person. You know, I'm freaking out because we're moving really slowly. And I'm just like, I'm gonna die in here. And then a woman has a panic attack and stops the line. And there's no room to go anywhere. So we were just stuck.
No.
And thankfully we were stuck near, like they would have some of the rooms open with like a rope to show like this is the quarters or whatever. So my dad, like he saw like we were all panicking. My dad just took the rope down.
Get in
and
there.
was like, get the fuck in there. And I mean, without that, I would have died. Honestly,
I also don't like...
yeah, I would have died.
I don't like small spaces, but I also don't like big, open, dark spaces.
Expand on that.
One time when I was in Tennessee, I told my friend, we were driving in his little Mazda Miata, and it was pitch black outside out in the middle of nowhere.
That sounds like drugs.
It does. And I want to do some. And we're in the middle of nowhere, in the woods, driving, and I go, my biggest fear is like just being trapped out in the dark and not being able to see anything. And he stopped the car, turned it off, and got out. And I couldn't see him anymore. And all the lights were off. And I was like, there's too much that can go on. And it also reminded me of a long time ago when I lived in New York, we would rehearse in an old bank vault, and I would always get there first, and so I would have to find the light switch. But I'd have to walk into, like go all the way downstairs in this building to a bank vault, and walk in and just know that the door could swing closed.
Listen, drag is not that important. Nothing is that important.
It wasn't drag.
Drag is...
It was back when I was doing theater.
Oh, really? In a bank vault?
Well, that's where we rehearsed. We didn't do the play there.
You did it on Broadway, of course.
No.
Oh.
We did it in the East Village.
Did you see Cola Scola has a new show?
Yes, I know. I'm going. I'm
When?
going. Well, I haven't bought my tickets yet, but I'm going. Because when we had him on as a guest on our podcast, he kept talking about that. And we thought that they were joking.
It's a show called Oh Mary, and they're playing Mary Todd Lincoln.
Mary Todd Lincoln.
I was talking to Curtis about it, and I was like, we have to go. So let me know when you're going, and maybe
We
we'll
could all go.
Yeah,
That would be fun.
Oh, yeah. So
We're really
then,
doing a great job of talking about this episode.
people are used to it.
Okay.
They open the thing, and then they put the cramp machine on them.
Yeah, so it's supposed
Wasn't
to...
that the period cramp machine that you see on TikTok all the time?
Oh, is that what it was?
I think
thought
it was.
Okay, because I know that it was supposed to imitate birthing.
If you see on TikTok, like, girls will take their boyfriends to it and, like, have their boyfriend feel what a period feels like. And, of course, the boyfriends are always like, this sucks. That's what they were doing. And it looked painful, but I loved watching Fantasia.
Oh,
I gotta
me
say,
too.
that was so funny.
After this, they're gonna have to call me Fantasia Royale Mama! That's how she won.
She was writhing.
She was, I mean, I don't think it hurt her one bit.
I think it moved past hurt to pleasure.
JK
and that's
was
a fine line.
So in their head the whole episode. You could see it. Everyone was talking about it. That by the time it got to that, I just think that they were maybe done trying.
You know, I was watching it with Curtis, which I don't recommend, and he was like, well, good. Like, JK should have gone a while ago, right? And I was like, no. I really thought JK was going to be the dark horse that made it to the end.
Me
like,
too.
I really wanted, and I know that's coming from a place of just, I wanted the other contestants to be like, oh, fuck, we were wrong. We never got that moment. There was never a moment.
No. And
Never.
I think that wholeheartedly the Boulets thought that the world would turn on JK.
Yeah.
And I think that that just
did
did not
not.
happen. We were all like, oh, that's our favorite.
I get why they thought that, because I will agree. JK
He's annoying,
said this
but
the
Brooklyn
first
girls are
episode.
annoying.
Like, I'm super annoying. And I was like, yeah, you are super annoying.
Name one queen from Brooklyn that isn't annoying. Julie J.
What's the Real Housewife that lived in Brooklyn? She was the ugly one. Alex. The ugly Real Housewife. Not ugly.
Not ugly, just different.
Different looking
European model.
Remember when she was a model? And she said, I'm doing this for business.
And it wasn't good. And their house was unfinished.
Yeah, I loved that.
Your house is more finished than hers was. You could be a real housewife.
You think my house is unfinished?
No, I said your house is more finished than hers.
Do you not expect it to be? You said it like this is a surprise.
Can I tell you, I came in here and texted my boyfriend immediately, like, we need to start decorating the house.
Yes!
And he was like, maybe Darby should just do it for
it's
us.
all Curtis.
Is
Curtis
it?
did everything.
Okay, because it's
Curtis.
gorgeous.
Yeah, well, I think he's getting into like a more verse kind of role, so I think it's making
You
his
gonna top?
design come out. Oh, I haven't.
I did it the other day, too.
It's a lot of work.
Do
you end up laying down while they write it? That's what I
haven't done that one yet.
That's what I have to do. Because my back hurts.
Yeah, I have a bad back.
I'm long. So we say goodbye to JK. JK gets murdered in space, right? How did he get murdered? Oh, something came out of JK's butt.
Yeah, and it killed him.
And I always get a little nervous when I feel something coming out of there.
Me too. I always think I got worms.
Alien. Yeah. Pull it right out.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I've heard that.
You're supposed to grab it and pull it.
You're supposed to put something near your butthole so it's like, and then you pull it.
Have you seen those videos of the bears with like the 5-foot-long worms hanging out of their ass?
What?
Apparently it's very common that bears will get worms and then they just hang out of their butt and they're very long. And apparently it's been going on for forever, and just National Geographic edits it around it so that you never actually see that.
You know what? Cocaine bear? I want that to be the follow-up. Worm butt bear.
I used to be cocaine bear.
You know what? I'm glad you stopped.
I wasn't fun when I did cocaine. It made me, like, mad.
It made you bossy.
Okay.
Oh, should I not have...
No, it's fine.
I'll edit that out.
No, leave it in.
Well, thank you everyone for watching, and thank you so much, Meatball, for coming
Thank you
by
for
and
having
doing
me.
this.
I had a
really
wonderful
appreciate it.
time.
And that you came before your meeting. I hope that this has helped and inspired your meeting.
I don't know what is going to happen.
Perfect.
Stunning. We're getting fried chicken. Now, have you ever had a meeting over fried chicken?
No, but I love Korean fried chicken.
Yeah.
Thank you so much again, Meatball, for being here. And we will be back next week, hopefully with Alexis. But honestly, who's to say?
Who knows?
Who's to say?
Who's to know?
Life happens.
I like the one with Kevin because he was sweating a lot.
He sweats so much.
Is that a nerve thing?
It got hot in here.
Okay.
I think
it was daytime. It's still morning.
He's got a lot of mass.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot of mass. So, thank you so much, everybody. Meatball, where can they find you?
You can follow me on Instagram at Spiciest Meatball, and make sure to go listen to my podcast, Sloppy Seconds. We also come out, half the episodes are on YouTube. If you go to Mom Sloppy?
Yeah, so you can watch our episode on YouTube.
I want to suck it.
And then I think there's another like 30 minutes if you listen to the audio version of the podcast, and it's all sex stories.
Mm-hmm.
Some of
and
my
phone
best.
calls.
Some of
Yeah,
my
you're
best.
really giving it to us.
Thank you so
the
much.
The pee in the pocket.
It's one of my favorite stories. I've got a lot of weird pee ones. I'll come back and tell you.
Were you a piss girl?
I was open. I was an open girl.
You would do anything. I was like
Sorry,
that.
I was a desperate person who said yes to everything. All right, we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye. Oh my God.
I'm hungry. Did you see the video that was going around Twitter of the guy with the boner with bees on it?
Yes, I did. That's terrifying.
What was that?
You know, people are weird. People want to put anything on their penis, put their penis in weird places.
But bees, and he stayed hard for the bees.
Well, okay, that reminds me, did you see the one of the guy who fucked the snake?
What do you mean fucked the snake?
A snake has like a hole where the eggs come out, and they put their dick.
They killed it?
No, it was alive.
Did it live?
It's so gross.
Did it live?
Yeah. They didn't cut it. I mean, the hole is there, and the guy just
It's not penis-sized. Was it?
I think it stretches out. It was a big snake. It wasn't a little snake. It was a big snake.
People, listen, humanity...
Quit fucking animals.
Well, I just feel like we need that. I think we're wrapping this up. I think the humanity experiment...
Oh, yeah.
It has proven failed, and I think we're gonna go.
Take it to space with Jeff Bezos.
We're gonna go. I did write down something. Have you seen on TikTok, sorry, I write down little, like, things, because Alexis
I
and
didn't think of anything to talk about.
Well, that's the problem. It's like Alexis and I will do a credits chat, and then neither of us have anything to talk about, and then you just sit and go,
Well, it's the thing, because don't you feel like you just get it all out, and then eventually you're just, like, telling the same thing over and over and over again?
Oh, I'm told when I repeat things. They let me know. They let me know.
They let me know, too, on the
I
podcast,
deserve
and I'm
it.
like, I'm sorry, we just did 400 episodes. What am I supposed to talk about for 400
I
hours?
gotta say, congrats on the success of your stupid fucking show.
It's so stupid.
Isn't it
Thank
crazy?
you. Yeah, I think people really put it on to just, like, zone out. Like, I don't think people actually listen.
My favorite, I gotta admit, I only listen to the episodes that are just you and Dipper.
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
They're funny. I just like to listen. I really enjoy seeing Dipper kind of dig a hole. You continue to shine light on that hole and say, no, further explain what you meant.
Yeah.
I
need more of that. Sorry,
That's
what were you
fun.
talking? What did you see on TikTok?
Have you seen the TikTok trend of girls asking their boyfriends or husbands to name a woman?
Yeah, what? Why can they not name a woman?
And they're
name
like,
a woman.
me?
Yeah.
Oh. You know what it did? The reason I stopped is because I'm just naming all the women that I've seen the videos for, and I don't want to repeat a woman. Because the first thing I thought was Connie Chung, which is like really
That is so out there.
But that was a real one. Like people are so basically they're trying to say like if you're not saying your girlfriend's name, then like you have a problem. Which like
Oh, that's weird.
God.
Oh God.
like your girlfriend's not a woman. Your girlfriend's
It's your girlfriend.
Your girlfriend.
She's a sex object.
Thank you. She's a hole.
She's a hole.
I did ask Curtis. I was like, I want to see what he says, and I was like, name a woman, and he goes, Candace Cameron. I was like, first of all,
Candace
it's
Cameron Bure.
Candace Cameron Bure.
He should know he's wearing one.
Secondly, he literally is wearing one right now. I'm sorry to all the French. Secondly, she hates us.
She hates the fact.
Why did you name
Why
someone?
straight to her?
I
Was
don't
he
know.
watching Christmas movies? Isn't she like a Christmas movie?
You know what it was? Is we were watching SNL that Candace Bergen was on. And he's like, I almost said Candace Bergen, but I couldn't remember who that was. So I switched to Cameron last minute. And I said, well, you made a mistake.
Yeah.
You made a mistake. Name a woman.
Oprah. I always go Oprah. Also, have you seen the ones where they're like, name a white man?
Oh.
And everyone's like,
Joe Biden?
Who are you voting for? Just kidding.
Oh, God. You know what? I'm voting for humanity.
To end.
Yes.
I'd be fine if it went. I literally told myself when I was 35 I was probably going to be dead anyway.
Okay. Thank you for bringing that up. I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go. That's why I ride a motorcycle. That's why I live life
You
to the
do
fullest.
ride a motorcycle.
I'm ready to go. I don't care. What else is there?
Are you...
Oh my God, that's so sad.
Speaking of ready to go, are you going to that party tonight?
I think I will.
You should go.
I have a couple things I gotta do today, but I can swing by.
We're going to force Alexis to go to get her out of the house.
She needs to be out and around people.
So we'll be there. And Dipper will be there, but don't let that stop you.
I just saw him last night. And funny story, I was talking to someone who had waited on both of us separately in San Francisco, and they moved here, and they were like, I was talking to them, and they're like, oh yeah, you were so nice when you came into the store, and you kept coming in, and you remembered my name. And I was like, yes, I do remember all of that. And then he was like, Dipper wasn't so nice. And I was like, what happened? And he goes, I don't know. He was like curt with me when he ordered his food. And then when I went and brought him his food, I was like, here you go. Have a nice day. He just looked up from his computer. I went, thanks. And went back to his computer. And I was like, I think that might be Dipper's version of being nice.
I could see that from him.
But also recently, Dipper went to a pool party, and the guys in the hot tub were talking about how mean he was. But they didn't realize he could hear because they couldn't hear over the bubbles. You know, so they were talking loud enough to get over the bubble, but he was out of the bubbles. And he heard them be like, that guy's so mean.
I'm trying to think, have I encountered... I guess I have. Yeah, I could see that.
I don't think he's mean. I just think
I
he's
think
like
he's-
one-track minded.
Yeah, he's focused. Listen, once you get to our age, you have to pick a track and stay on it.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you're Meatball.
Look at us. You end up like
Us?
this.
Listen, I've got my shit together. I've got a
I
townhouse.
know, you have a townhouse.
I've got a
That's nice.
town home.
3 stories, y'all.
All right, we're gonna go up to the roof and make sure it's still there.
I gotta
Bye.
get my laundry. Bye.